What's up, guys? Ribbon here.
And I'm Talos.
We're the Studley Boys. Welcome back to the Studley News Network. For today's episode, we're going to do a breakdown of Microsoft's Xbox Game Showcase. Talos streamed his live reaction earlier, so if you guys want to check out his video, I will leave the link down in the description below, as well as the timestamps and links to all the articles and trailers we're going to cover today.
And of course, apart from the live reactions, we also live stream every Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Well, obviously, we'll give you a heads up if we do stream other days. But for the most part, those are our typical stream days on our Twitch channel. And also, since you're down there, be sure to also check out our Amazon affiliate links. Any equipment that we use to live stream, if you're curious about what we use, check those out. And of course, that also helps support this show that you're watching.
Like and sub if you guys enjoyed the video. With that being said, let's get on with the breakdown.
Let's do this.
Alrighty, so we're going to start off with the first game of the showcase, which was the game that we're all looking forward to the most, which is Halo Infinite.
Killing Frenzy!
Looks like someone's excited about the game. Yeah, so let's go over the first thing. The first big change here is the open world gameplay of it.
So if you ever play previous Halo games, basically, they feel pretty linear for the most part, like point A to point B. Maybe it opens a little bit, expands a little bit, but this feels truly open world. I'm pretty sure they're showing up the campaign for the most part in the trailer. Yes. I don't think this is actually multiplayer, but we talked about before that they might be introducing a battle royale style Halo version.
Yes,
and if that's the case, then I can see why they would have an open world like this. And during the press conference or the showcase, they talked about how I forget what games they compared it to, but they said the last two games I think they mentioned is going to be the size of both games combined, as you can see right here in the overworld map.
Yeah. So you can pull up this massive overworld, and scattered throughout it are I'm guessing side quests and optional missions that you can.
Maybe.
And I'm guessing the rewards are either upgrades or maybe experience points. Maybe they introduced an experience point leveling up.
Well, let's look at the menu here. Obviously in the top right you see upgrades, so it sounds like you can upgrade something. Database, obviously database. Tech map is what you're on right now. On the bottom you'll see view missions and then start mission. So if you actually want to start a mission or not. So it definitely feels kind of RPG-ish in a way.
I guess I've always preferred Halo as sort of linear, and I've always equated open world games to RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to feel about this. But gameplay wise, it still looks pretty similar to Halo. It keeps the core Halo gameplay elements.
Even the color and the color grade of is very reminiscent of previous Halo games. So it's not darker or lighter. They kept that same feeling.
Yeah. So
everything really.
Yeah. So you have shields are still here. Mm-hmm. Sticky grenades are still here.
I did know some new abilities. Right here, I think he's gonna throw up a massive shield to block off some of the next upcoming waves.
Wasn't this already an ability?
I don't know. I don't remember. That's what I was trying to question when I was doing the live reaction of it. I don't remember if that was introduced in other games, like this one right here, the shield right here.
Yeah, it's like a barrier wall type thing.
Yeah, and then of course the grappling hook. You can actually use the grappling hook to charge into the enemy. That's also kind of cool, or break or items towards you as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's another cool ability, and of course transversing areas. And I think the reason why they're going for the more open world is they're going to be introducing a pretty much a battle royale style Halo version here. So obviously the worlds have to be pretty damn massive if they're going to be twice or the same size as the previous two maps combined or previous two games combined.
Okay, now graphics wise, what do you think? Because after the showcase, I was reading a couple of articles and they were saying how people thought that the graphics looked kind of a little off. I did notice that there was something about the graphics. I just couldn't put my finger on it though. Do you think it's
what do you mean?
In between realistic and sort of cartoony?
I mean, to be honest, it's kind of the same aesthetic from previous Halo games, if anything. So I don't think if you haven't played other Halo games, then you probably would think that it's not, because it's not a realistic game. They're not going for realistic in terms of like how the Spartans here move and stuff like that. So they're not going for a realistic look. So to me, it's true to what the game is supposed to be.
Hmm. But do you think it does like a good job showing off the Xbox Series X's like potential though?
Definitely not.
I feel
Definitely
like
not, because
I feel like it isn't. It's like a little underwhelming. If it's a little too close to Halo, like traditional Halo graphics, like I don't know if that might. I don't think that's like a good thing though. It's
I don't know, like for me and probably for you as well, like graphics is not everything, and I really don't want the every single game to be super realistic and all that. So it's nice to kind of have a game that's not so graphically enhanced. Obviously, you would think with next gen graphics it should be better, but like a perfect example is when this main enemy guy right here is talking to you. I felt his character model like was very cartoonish, like, but at the same time I was accepting of it because like I'm not looking for a realistic Halo game. I'm not looking for something dark and gritty. I'm looking for something that's like colorful, something that we know and love about it, and overall just the gameplay. Like, well, we want to play and make sure that it plays right, and if it plays at 60 frames, awesome. And from what they say on the actual showcase, it will be full 60 frames. But to me, I think it's just right. Obviously, they could have probably pushed the envelope a little bit more graphically, but at the same time, it's not really needed for this kind of game, honestly.
overall it looks good.
And looking at this, it's going to be on Xbox Series X, Xbox One for previous gen, as well as Windows 10.
Yes, and then we talked about that before. There's possibly some sort of maybe there might be some sort of crossplay with Xbox and PC.
It's not been confirmed yet, but I would hope so.
Yeah, there's a possibility too, because that's become like a theme, that's become a theme when it comes to
And dude, it will make total sense too, because when you think about it, if they're going to do like a battle royale style game similar to COD or Fortnite, then having that crossplay, it's definitely a must in my opinion.
Yeah. Now, do you know if they confirmed this was going to be a launch title? Because I feel like it is.
It says holiday 2020, and of course the consoles come out holiday 2020. So yes, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they're already showing gameplay of it sort of confirms that it's already past that development point when they can possibly release it. So yeah, I'm hoping this becomes a launch title, which is good for the Xbox, because this is a really good launch title.
To be honest, like similar to like Halo 3, that was a launch title for the 360, and now they're coming back with Halo Infinite being hopefully a launch title. And I think I think Halo 5 is also a launch title for the Xbox One, if I recall correctly as well. So I think they're just going to maintain that tradition.
Yeah. Alrighty, moving on to our next game, we have State of Decay 3. The showcase started off with a bang, of course, with Halo, but yeah, with State of Decay 3, they didn't show any sort of gameplay footage for it, just like a little...
It looks interesting, not gonna lie. It kind of had that like almost Last of Us feel, obviously, but but at the same time, I didn't know it was gonna be State of Decay until I saw that actual title scene.
Yeah, and I'm not too familiar with
me neither
with the State of Decay game, so I don't really have much to say about this. This is gonna be like an overlying theme with this showcase. They're definitely gonna show off a lot of just non-gameplay type stuff.
Only a handful of the games that were shown here showed actual gameplay, and unfortunately, this is one that only showed like almost like an announcement teaser.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Basically, this game, from what it says here, it's a survival RPG. Like kind of everyone was saying, we haven't played this game, the previous two games. The one thing I do want to point out real quick is it was kind of cool to see like a zombie deer. It kind of caught me by surprise. It's intriguing to say the least, but at the same time, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for me to kind of pick this up. I don't know if it's a direct sequel to have to play the previous 2 games to understand what's happening here, and that's kind of like one reason why I probably won't jump into this game. I don't know about you, Riven.
The whole zombie thing, I feel like I'm done with it. You know.
Yeah.
It's just been done to death. So I don't know. We'll see.
I agree. We'll see. All right, rolling into the next one that I'm actually really excited for, only because I love cars and Forza and racing and cars. Forza Motorsport, the new one coming out for exclusively for the Xbox consoles coming up. It's probably going to be featured in Xbox One as well, previous gen as well as PC. That's kind of like the theme right now that they're going for, is to kind of release all those platforms at the same time.
Yeah,
but it looks obviously, if you have played any of the previous Forza Motorsports, graphically, it's always going to push that limit, that envelope. It's always going to push that, the 60 frames, all that, and obviously feature all the awesome cars like the new Koenigsegg that was featured in the video. And I don't know. Overall, it was just kind of like an eye candy trailer teaser. Than anything, but I'm still gonna pick it up only because I love the game.
Yeah, they didn't show any gameplay, obviously, and look, I don't know. It's
to be honest, they don't have to. To be honest, they probably don't need to show gameplay.
Yeah,
because
I was gonna say the same thing. Like how, like it's probably not gonna deviate from previous games, right?
Definitely not. If anything, they might introduce like the same race tracks. They might introduce a few more race tracks. From what they say, I believe they said they build it from the ground up. I hate when they say they build it from the ground up, because I don't know that's necessarily true.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like obviously it's going to look good. It's going to play great. It's going to play what we know and love about it. But at the same time, it's just another Forza. Honestly, if I wasn't such a big car fan, it probably won't be as exciting for anyone else. Probably not for yourself. I don't know if you're excited for it at all, Riven. But I know, like,
I mean, I'm more of a motorcycle guy, but the game does look pretty though. It might be the prettiest looking game in the entire library right now.
But yeah, there's definitely not much to say about it, except the Forza is coming up for the next consoles.
Alrighty, moving on to the next game. This one is called Everwild, and it's developed by Rare. I believe we covered this in one of our previous episodes.
Yes.
They're saying it's possibly an open world game, but we don't really know for sure, because for one thing, the trailer that they showed us, it's pretty much just, well, there was no gameplay at all. It was just,
another game but no gameplay.
Yeah.
It looks very pretty though. Like the one thing I was trying to say during the live reaction that I did, this is like cell shading, right? The graphics. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought, and it looks pretty, and it has that almost like Breath of the Wild look to it.
Yes, exactly.
And
I wonder if that's why we equate it to being an open world game, because it kind of looks like Breath of the Wild.
Maybe it might be linear. It might be but the thing is, though, it might be a platform if it's Rare. I don't know. Like maybe
that's true. But I feel like nowadays a lot of people are doing open world games. But
yeah.
So yeah.
The one thing I want to say real quick is like, it's going to be hard to compete with other like AAA titles that already have an established name for a new IP like this. Even though people know Rare and people know Rare can do good games, they have to really kind of like push a little bit of the envelope to kind of like build some like traction for this game, because obviously we know nothing about Everwild, and without gameplay we can't even make a better judgment of like if it's gonna be fun to play.
Yeah, but the game does look pretty though, and it does have a distinct art style, which is what attracts me to it. The article sort of calls it a lost Miyazaki film. But we're just gonna have to wait and see for more details. So
we'll keep you posted, guys.
Yeah. Alrighty, moving on to the next game. This one is developed by the same studio that did Life is Strange.
Life is Strange.
Yeah, Don't Nod Entertainment. It's called Tell Me Why. Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna put that.
Why not? That's hilarious.
Okay. In all seriousness, let's talk about the name first. Okay, you
It's a
can't
terrible name, but
you can't call it "Tell Me Why" and not expect to have people confuse it with a Backstreet Boys song. The first thing they should have done was change the name. I feel like they could have came up with a better name than "Tell Me Why."
I mean, it probably makes sense when you actually play the game, but yeah, it's like obviously the '90s kids are gonna like go over that one.
Yeah.
Moving on to the game. The game itself actually does look very, very good.
Yes.
Not gonna lie. If you love any of the previous Don't Nod games and the seriousness or the theme of it, the drama that's involved with it, you're gonna love this game as well, and it shows in the trailer.
There's definitely Life is Strange vibes to it. And
Yep.
if you've played any of the Life is Strange games, it's very emotionally driven. A lot of like moments of like trauma.
It's also episodic, right?
Yes.
I think it's episodic as well.
I
Mhm.
believe it's going to be episodic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it probably has to be because it's Don't Not. From what I saw, it's like a death of a parent, right? Or maybe
Well, the story is that it's okay. It's about two twins, two female twins, and something happened to one of them, involving the mother, and may have affected that one twin, which eventually led to her transitioning into a man.
looking at the paragraph right here, the two share a supernatural bond that grants them the power to interact with their past memories, which is exactly what they showed here. Like they showed something. They I guess they went to like where they used to live, their house.
Yeah.
And obviously from the trailer right here, it shows like a memory of them as a kids, and they can actually interact with it. And I guess you can go back in time, interact with it, maybe change it. I don't know. Like,
just like with the previous Don't Nod games, like Life is Strange, there's like some sort of time travel mechanic. But here, I don't necessarily think it's time travel. It's just interacting with memories. I guess like the two main characters, they sort of go back to work out like some, I don't know,
mystery.
Yeah, some sort of trauma or something, like some childhood thing. Even this town here kind of looks like something from Life is Strange, like Arcadia Bay. So it does have like Life is Strange vibes to it.
But honestly, I'm excited for it. I'll definitely play it. It's definitely be one of the items we'll have in our checklist for games that we play. And it comes out pretty soon. Chapter 1, August 27th. All right, rolling into the next one. Basically, we're just going to combine this into one. All the Obsidian games coming out. Obviously, Outerworlds, Peril of the Gordon, Grounded, and Avowed. Me and Riven, we both haven't played Outerworlds at all. It's a great game, not gonna lie. It's basically like if you like Fallout, that's aesthetic and those are that kind of like that choice-based games. But we just haven't got the opportunity and time to play Outerworlds. But a new DLC is coming out for Peril of Gordon. Yeah. The one thing that we are going to cover a little bit on is Grounded.
All right, so Grounded, which is, I feel like it's kind of unusual for Obsidian since they're really known for their role-playing games. I feel like this is more a survival
platforming
game. Yeah, it's like a platformer / survival game. So I don't really know what to make of it. So obviously it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I don't know if anyone remembers that.
Yeah. That's a good metaphor. And what I really like about the trailer is like, if you want the biggest game of the year, check out Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, that is hilarious.
But if you want the smallest games, check out.
We got something for you. Yeah, so I like that. That's the one thing about Obsidian games. Even with the Outerworlds trail that we kind of skimmed through, basically they're very funny. Their humor is top notch.
It's a survival game, so if you play games like The Forest or
yeah, good point. Yeah, good point.
Or like Subnautica or something, it's like, I mean, you run around, gathering supplies and materials, and you have to create a base and stuff like that, and fight off like people. I don't know. Well, here you're fighting off spiders and bugs and stuff like that. And they're actually showing off some gameplay here, which is great. Here you see them, building a fort, and fighting off like bugs.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if the premise.
The one game.
I don't know if the premise is exactly like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but how do they explain why the kids are so tiny?
Now, the one game I'm actually really excited for that they just revealed from Obsidian is a game called Avowed. And obviously, if you ever played Elder Scrolls, this is basically Obsidian's answer to that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be like I hope it's gonna be like some sort of open world RPG, you know, in the style of like you said, Skyrim or possibly The Witcher.
Hmm. I think it is. I kind of feel that it is. Um, but it looks very, very good. Obviously, it was only a teaser, so no gameplay was shown for it, but it definitely drew a little bit of an interest in me.
Yeah. Both me and Talos, we really like RPGs, so I feel like this is the out of all the games here, this is the one that really got our attention, other than Halo. I just want to show off this cool little thing here. I don't know if this is part of the gameplay mechanics, but as you can see here,
Oh,
he
yeah.
sort of draws like a rune to cast a spell.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a game that came out a long time ago. It's called Arx Fatalis, and so the game's magic system involved you drawing runes in midair. So in order to cast a spell, you have to draw certain runes. So
Mhm.
this little part here kind of reminded me of that. Like maybe they have a system in which, in order to cast a spell, you have to draw runes manually on in thin air.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting too. Like is that maybe drawing on the controller? Like the PS4 controller had that little touchpad on the top.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the Xbox has anything like that. But or maybe VR. I don't know if the
Oh yeah, if it was VR, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
is it exclusive though?
I don't know.
Uh, okay, Outerworlds was PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's still too new to say.
Yeah.
But Microsoft did buy Obsidian back in 2018, so it might be exclusive to Xbox. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Alrighty, moving on to the next game. This one was developed by an ex-Quantum Dreams game designer. And if you guys don't know what Quantum Dreams is, they developed the Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls games. So you know that this is going to be pretty cinematic and story-based. So
But the art style is different than what we know from the original Quantum Dreams, though.
Right. So this is as Dusk Falls.
Now, look at the trailer here. Basically, it kind of showed like I was kind of confused at first. I thought it was gonna show like a cinematic thing, but it looks like the characters are like almost in a comic book style or like cut out drawings.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like the world itself is 3D and real, I guess if you want to call it that. But the characters themselves are like almost cutouts.
Yeah. So here they're. I don't even know how to describe this art style though. It's like sort of like
I don't know either.
Moving comic book.
Almost like stop motion, actually. No,
No, it's not stop motion. It's like maybe the opposite of that. It's like
still motion.
honestly, I'm not a big fan of this. Like this type of art style sort of limits the gameplay. I feel like the only type of gameplay it'll have is quick time events, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, obviously, they didn't show any gameplay at all, so we don't know what the gameplay is. This may only be a cutscene for all we know.
That's true. But this could also be just gameplay itself, for all we know.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, it could be both. We don't know. I mean, we'll keep an eye on this one, but at the same time, I'm also not very excited for the game. Like, if it has the great story, like it says here, interactive drama, maybe it will like, I guess, make me forget about the way it looks dramatic, like the way it's displayed here. But as of right now, it feels like a pass for now.
Yeah, same here.
All right, guys, rolling into the next one that I'm super excited for is The Medium. Hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
All right, so I guess this is like Xbox Series X's like flagship survival horror title.
Is it exclusive? Yeah, it is. Okay, Xbox Series X exclusive. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's developed by Team Blooper. I've never heard of them before.
Never heard of them either. But
Yes.
I think Microsoft bought them, I believe.
Yes. But judging from the gameplay trailer, it looks very, very promising.
Yes. Like I'm very confused on the gameplay, but I was watching the gameplay, and obviously there's multiple there's two different realities.
Yes.
And are you controlling these characters at the same exact time, or are you controlling them individually, but they happen to do the same exact action?
Okay.
That's what confuses me.
you take control of this character here. I forgot her name. But the gameplay takes place in two different worlds. You have the normal world and the spirit world. And I believe you can
I get that.
you can travel back and forth between them. I don't think you travel at the same time. You travel back and forth. I think the reason why they did the split screen is just to show it off. That,
Okay.
That like when you do something in one world, it'll affect the other, and vice versa.
I like that idea.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like puzzle
it's
elements that they can implement here.
Dude, have you ever watch Stranger Things?
Oh yeah.
It's just like that idea. Yeah,
it's the upside down.
I like that idea so much, and now they're making it like a gameplay of it. So
yeah,
obviously it's like a scary game, and like obviously like I hate scary games, but I also love scary games. And this is going to be very, very interesting, and something that we can definitely play in the future for our live streams.
Yeah. So as you can see here, like the main character, she's like walking around, she's solving a puzzle. I guess part of the gameplay involves you maybe traveling to the spirit world, doing something there, and it'll affect the real world, and then you go back to the real world. So here,
yeah,
she moves the clock in the real world, and look how it affects the spirit world.
Yep, I like that. Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool.
And you can move forward and backwards, and
It's like you're like trying to solve something, and then you could transfer to her, and she can look at it.
yes.
Nice. Yeah, I like that idea so much.
And notice the differences between them. Like she's like her appearance sort of changes in the spirit world. She has like white hair. She got stuff on her arm.
Yeah.
Okay, here she just like moved to the spirit world. You see how like now she's in the spirit world, but in the real world she's standing still. See here, she's about to solve like she's about to interact with like the puzzle.
Oh.
And then so she travels back to the normal world.
That is
and
cool.
Whatever she did in the spirit world affected the normal world. There you go.
There it is. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely hyped for this one. And this will be a great game for me and Riven to play. Obviously, because we do dual commentary on our Twitch channels, and he can help me solve some puzzles, or vice versa. If he's playing, I can help him solve puzzles.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a good game, and we'll definitely keep this posted in our future ideas for live streams. But I'm definitely hyped for this one, and it's also has that like freaky element to it, a scary element to it. Overall, it's definitely a go for me.
What do you think? What do you think about the graphics, though? I feel like the graphics are kind of.
It's pretty underwhelming. The graphics kind of remind me, honestly, like something you see like in maybe mid 2000s, not mid 2000s, but mid 2010 graphics.
Yeah.
But
a little underwhelming.
I mean, to be honest, like I mentioned before with the Halo trailer, like graphics is not everything, but if they have amazing gameplay and good premise and good story, good characters, and developing that, I think that for me outweighs graphics. But I get why people want to push that envelope for graphics, but I don't think this game needs it, and definitely I'm still going to pick it up. All right, guys, the big one, the surprise reveal that I was excited for. I don't know about Riven, but I was hyped. Fable finally coming back to the Xbox Series X.
Yes.
Oh yes,
Fable. Well, the thing is, we did hear. I mean, we were expecting Fable a little bit.
True. We heard rumors, but this just puts the icing on the cake that it's been confirmed. They are working on it. The one caveat to that, it was a short reveal. It showed no gameplay whatsoever. They just showed that yes, they're working on it. It's on the way, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a launch title. I don't even know if it's coming out 2021. To be honest with you.
Yeah, well, the fact that they didn't show any gameplay sort of indicates that maybe they're still at the early phases of it. So they're
Very
probably
early.
still working on it. So most likely it's not going to be a console launch title.
Definitely not. Yeah, but the things though, I'm still excited for it. I love Fable. Fable 1 and 2 mostly. I didn't really care too much for Fable 3, but yeah. So
I mean,
yeah.
judging from the trailer alone, I mean, the world looks pretty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny too. It's like, oh, not everyone has a happy ending, and a frog just eats the fairy. It's like, oh, dude, that is so that was so Fable. And then of course we saw the reveal there, Fable. I don't like. I'm curious to see what they're gonna go with. Are they going with a full reboot, or are they going to go with a totally different story, but having the same premise? But I don't know. I'll definitely keep my eyes on this one for sure.
Okay, so that's pretty much most of the showcase. Obviously, we didn't show all of them. There are a couple of games that we did skip, only because we felt like there wasn't enough information to really judge it, nor were we that interested in them.
Or we didn't play it, or play the previous games from it.
Right. So if you guys are interested in them, we'll leave the links down in the description below, and you guys can check it out. But I guess we can take this time to do some final thoughts.
Yes.
2020 has been a pretty terrible year so far, and the only thing that we've been looking forward to the most is the next gen battle that's going to take place at the end of the year between.
Surprisingly, right? Yeah, I think it seems like the big thing nowadays is the battle between PS5 and or Sony and Microsoft to be in general.
Right.
With the next gen consoles, and it kind of feels like it's like the old days, like back in the day, like the PlayStation versus Sony thing with Xbox and PS2, PS3, and 360. So it kind of felt like, because I felt with the Xbox One and PS4, I felt like there was not really a competition anymore. Like PS4 just won that one, I thought off the bat, but now it feels like it might be close. What do you think?
I felt like Sony had a very solid showing. They showed off the games, they showed off information about the console, and I think they showed a fair amount of gameplay.
Yeah, good point.
So comparing that with Microsoft's showcase, I felt like they didn't do a good enough job trying to convince me to buy a Series X. In terms of games, they didn't really show off too much gameplay, which was the most disappointing thing about this showcase.
It was a handful. Yeah, it was a handful of games.
Yeah, there was only like a couple, and then of course their launch title, the big one, Halo Infinite.
Correct.
Yeah, so they didn't really have any, tentative release dates. They didn't show any gameplay, so I feel like that indicates that some of these games are still a little far off. They're still like in the early phases of development, so they don't really have anything to show, which is
fortunate.
Yeah, it's
and another big thing too, like the one thing I want to kind of point out is obviously they're not. Maybe the reason why they're not trying to sell the console too much is because they're not trying to sell the console. They're trying to sell the games, because there was one interview that was talked about where they actually don't make that much money from selling consoles. They make more money from selling games. So that's probably why they put more emphasis on games versus the hardware. Because obviously we wouldn't know how much the Xbox Series X costs. We already know what it looks like, but the big thing was like, when is the exact release date for it, and how much is it going to be? We kind of already know everything else about the hardware aspect of it, but this showcase was mostly about the games. And me personally, if I can interject a little bit here,
yeah, go for it.
Is I'm actually kind of excited for some of the games announced, but a lot of these games are not exclusive for just the Xbox Series X. If anything, if you have the previous Xbox One, it will be available there. If you have PC, it will be available there. So I feel like, regardless of where you play it, it's not going to sell a console for me. But if I wanted to play the games, I can just play it elsewhere.
Exactly.
That's the impression that I got from this.
Exactly, and I feel the same way. I'm primarily a PC player nowadays, and if most of these games are available on Steam, I would just play it on the PC. I have the system to play them, so it's not like I need an Xbox. So,
correct.
I mean, even in terms of systems, I feel like they didn't really do a good job trying to show off the like the graphics of the Xbox Series X. I feel like they missed an
Yeah.
opportunity to do like a side by side comparison of what a current gen console looks like versus like the next gen. Like
That's a good point.
they could have taken Halo Infinite, right? And they could have showed us like what it looks like next gen, and then do a side by side comparison with what it looks like current gen.
I'm still gonna pick up a lot of these games. Like obviously the big ones, Halo Infinite, Forza. Tell me why, but I'll probably play that on PC, like Riven was saying. Let me see what else was there. The Medium and Fable. Basically, 5 games out of the entire games they showed in that list.
Yeah.
That I'm probably gonna actually like legit play. But am I gonna play like all of them on the Xbox Series X? Probably not. If anything, the only ones on Xbox Series X will be the Halo Infinite and Fable, I think. And Forza, of course. But the rest, I can just play elsewhere.
If there are any pros to the Xbox Series X, what do you think they are?
The big pro, we talked about this in our last week's video for the Study News, is their Game Pass. Their Game Pass is huge. It's cheap.
It's like $10. $10 a month, and you'll be able to play all the games in the Xbox library. No, it's 10.
14 a month?
It's 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 14 with the whole Game Pass, with the whole XCloud thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but I believe it's $10, and you'll be able to play all the launch titles.
And they were like touting like 100 titles will be available at launch.
Yes, and not to mention like the backwards compatible games. So I feel like that's an amazing deal. Especially nowadays when this
people might be saving money.
Yes, exactly. This is like probably the most financially feasible deal for most people, seeing as we're in an economic recession and there's like mass unemployment. Especially for the next gen consoles, a lot of people are speculating that the prices will go up. So $10 Game Pass subscription might be financially the best option nowadays.
Yeah, it's very consumer friendly. So I'll give it to Microsoft for doing that for the gamers out there. They'll just to kind of like give it some props, because obviously with the whole premise of the PS5, they're all about pushing selling consoles, and like some games won't be available for previous generations. You don't really play the next gen games will be on the next gen consoles for the Sony side of things. But what I like about the Microsoft side of things is they're very consumer friendly, where if you don't have the next gen, you don't have the money to buy the next gen, you can play those same exact next gen games on previous gen models. So that's cool. It's very cool. I think that's a big plus. They briefly talked about that at the conference. But if we're talking about games specifically, Halo Infinite looks good. Definitely gonna check that out. The Medium looks very good. Fable, we don't know much about it, but so far it looks good. Forza, of course, is always going to look good. It's just like if you like that kind of gameplay or not. But those are just the winners for me. Everything else, like I didn't really feel like it pushed any graphical limits. It didn't really push like an intrigue for gameplay for me for some of the games. Other games I don't know the history of, so I can't really be nostalgic for it. We can go on and on about that.
Yeah, a lot of the graphics were kind of underwhelming, right? None of them really like showcase the power of the Xbox Series X, which is like
it's sad because like it's more powerful than the PS5. Show why it's more powerful. Like show something, but I don't know. I guess they.
I mean, they didn't show any gameplay. They didn't even show like even the.
Well, they showed some gameplay.
Yeah, they showed some gameplay, but even showing off the graphics, they didn't do like a good job at it. So it's I was a little disappointed with this showcase. And obviously, there's still more information that's yet to be released. I know Microsoft and Sony are both expecting to have more showcases in the near future. So
yes,
we're halfway through the year. We still don't have too much information, but hopefully we will. In a couple of months or so.
All right, the finish is off. Basically, as of right now, today's date is the 23rd of July. Who so far do you think is winning the console war, quote unquote, console war?
Oh man. Game wise, I think PlayStation 5 still holds an advantage. They still have like a good um library of games, and they have a good lineup of exclusives.
Hmm.
But then again, Xbox's Game Pass subscription is just so good right now, and they have. I think they have the better launch titles. They have a couple of good ones. Halo Infinite being one of them. And I think
Yep.
Sony's launch title. I think it's only the Spider-Man game.
The Spider-Man, I think that's the only one that's exclusive for Sony at the moment.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything else. I don't remember what other games was present at that showcase. Obviously, it's been a month since we saw it. But the one that comes to mind is definitely Spider-Man.
yeah. From an objective standpoint, I would probably say that they're kind of even. So you would have to take it from a case by case basis. So
Yeah.
me personally, if I wanted to play some of these games, they are available for the PC and Steam. So I would
Mhm.
probably just go with the PlayStation 5 then, since you have
Yeah.
exclusives. I wouldn't be able to play them on the PC. So it's
Yeah.
unfortunately
Yeah.
PS5 for me. How about you?
I have to agree, complete 100%. Like Microsoft, like they're already pushing the envelope in terms of like playing games on multiple platforms, which is cool for the consumer things. But in terms of me wanting to play it on the next gen console, it's not really pushing envelope. I'll still gonna get it because obviously I still want to see and play some of the bigger titles like Halo Infinite, Forza, and Fable on the next gen consoles. But like Riven was saying, a lot of those games you can just play on PC regardless. It might not necessarily be on Steam, but at least on the Microsoft Store, you could probably buy it through there and play it on your PC. But still, that's probably where I'll go as well. I'll probably get the PS5 for the exclusive games, and of course, I just like the controller feel of it more personally myself. Um, and that's another thing too that we compared is controllers, and which one feels better. But I guess we'll have to wait till we get the actual hardware hands-on before we get a
Yes.
full review on that. But like Riven's saying, PS5 still has the edge for me for getting the console. Even though technically I'll probably get both.
Alrighty, that concludes our breakdown. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned. We'll try to keep you guys updated on developing stories. And as usual, if you enjoyed the video, you can always support us by liking and subscribing. And feel free to comment down below. What did you guys think about the Microsoft Game Showcase? And what games are you guys looking forward to the most?
And of course, if you guys want to check out our live streams, we do stream on Twitch every Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, whether it be live reactions or our latest playthroughs. And since you're down there, be also check out our Amazon affiliate links if you want to help support the show.
This is Studley signing out. See you guys later.
There, guys.
What about pluses? Like, what are the pros? Do you think that
The big
wait, hold on,
we
hold on,
talked
hold on,
about
hold on. I got a notification.
from what?
I just got a someone followed.
Someone followed us.
Yeah.